souls out there. Welcome to the Twin Flame Awakening podcast, and today is episode number 8. In today's episode, we are going to talk about what if your twin flame is married, or what if you, as a twin flame, you are married and you don't know what to do. This topic is something I think we all are questioning, who have been married, who are married, or whose twin flame is married, and wondering if the marriage will last, if you're going to divorce, or if there is something else what you should be aware of. I truly believe that there are pretty much 2 or 3 forms out of it, and this is what we're going to discuss about it based on my own experience. Me, who was a twin flame divine feminine, the chaser, was married at the time I met my twin flame. My twin flame masculine, divine masculine, was not married at the time, was single, and although I was the divine feminine, the chaser, and he was the divine masculine, the runner, he still ran away. So in today's topic, we are going to discuss if your marriage is going to last, how you're going to feel about it, and is it always divorce an answer, or are there any other answers for it? And also we dive into, is the twin flame my true love, and I should be with my twin flame and be in a relationship and get married to my twin flame? Are the twin flames a perfect couple? Because that's what you feel when you first meet your twin flame. You really feel like, oh wow, he or she is my perfect match, we should be together. But the reason you feel like is because it's your home, it's your soul, it's who you are. And I truly believe that many of you who are listening today, especially if you are married, how confusing it is, because you're wondering, did I marry the wrong person? Am I supposed to be married with my twin flame? Am I supposed to start over again? So we dive into these topics. I also, before I start this topic today, once again I would like to take a time and say thank you for each one of my followers. You have been so helpful, and your help means the world to me, and your likes, your subscribes, your comments, your feedback. I mean, I am so thankful. And if any of my information helps you along this process, it makes me feel I am doing what my soul is asking me to do. So thank you again for subscribing and liking and commenting. If you have any topics in mind, if you have any questions, you can always comment or send me an email, twinflameawakeningjourney@gmail.com. Each Wednesday we discuss about your story, so feel free to share your story with me. Wednesday episodes are for the guests or the other souls, and to find some love and light in this crazy experience what you're going through right now. So this episode is for those who are married or whose twin flame is married. So let's dive into. I will start with the fact, when you, as a twin flame chaser, you are married and you meet your twin flame runner, the divine masculine, and what you feel and what do you go through it, and if your marriage will last or it's time to make a new chapter. When I first met my twin flame runner, I did not know. First of all, my marriage it was a normal marriage. We've been together for a very long time. Of course, love in certain points starts to fade away if you don't work on it, and all these kind of things. So when I met my twin flame, like I said, I never knew about it, and it was very strange for me that I'm attracted to someone that is not my type and not the man I would like to be with. Not in a way of mind-wise. I'm talking here like my mind. My soul was screaming for my divine masculine. It's like, everything is so perfect. You're so happy. You feel like home. You have this inner knowing that this is the person that makes me so happy and loving, and I mean, these fireworks, like the electricity, it's just so beautiful. And so at the time I was married to my husband. And when I met my twin flame, it was so confusing for me because I did not want to cheat on my husband, which I didn't do. I never had any intimacy with my twin flame, but of course, yes, we were exchanging stories, we were talking, we had so much to talk about, and this journey was just like crazy. I could not understand how come I'm attracted to someone that is like pretty much a stranger to me. And believe me, I meet people a lot, like everywhere, all the time, and I'm a very friendly person. I'm trying to talk, I'm always trying to build up the conversation, and this was just something different. Until, of course, he ran, and then I realized this was my spiritual awakening, nothing else than this. But that's a one hell of a journey that is going to freak me out like crazy, and it did make me to feel I'm crazy. So what happened? I'm talking from my own experience, and then I bring in my client's experience. Did I question, am I married to the right person? Yes, I did this question for a very long time, and me and my husband were close to a divorce. We got really into a place where I felt disconnected and I did not understand what is this about. We were no longer the same people. And even though I can say in a twin flame connection, you become a different person, like you're no longer the same, and you understand love very differently. You understand love that there is something else and there is something more powerful out there that you simply cannot explain it to someone who hasn't gone through it. And I did not for a very long time. I didn't tell to anybody until I finally, I met people who literally started to tell me about twin flames, and I'm like, I know, I know it's a twin flame, but how is it possible? How is it possible? Well, it is possible. So what I felt was exactly that in a very short, this beautiful time where, when you are really in love and you have this extreme connection and you talk a lot for each other, and you have you're waiting for his or her messages, and you read each other's minds, and you have this whole bubbly phase. Then of course I think I was really close to that. I'm going to live and I'm going to be with my twin flame. Like that was 100%. But then of course when the ego death and the dark night of the soul hit in, and I went through this pain and loneliness and all of that, then I started to see something else and feeling something else. And that's why I think it's so painful, because your sixth sense is opening and you start to understand that your twin flame runner or the divine masculine is not exactly like who you're going to be with, but he's helping you to come to another level of consciousness, another level of life. But it obviously took a really, really long time to understand this. During this process, my marriage was hard. And I don't even know. I was so afraid that this whole thing will fall apart and I'll be alone. And it was a very hard time. I'm not going to lie here. But then, like I've said on all of my podcasts, I had a chance to go to a retreat. And I never told any of you that I booked this retreat just by accident. I saw an ad and I just went on it, and turned out that it was the time of when divine masculine and divine feminine unite. It's celebrated in India, and I was blown away. And then I got my answers. I did a very deep breath work. I opened my heart chakra and I got my answers. And that's why I think twin flame journey is very individual. You have emotions that are very hard to handle. And if you are in a marriage or already in a relationship and you come across with your twin flame, you're definitely going to have this feeling that you have married the wrong person and you need to divorce and move on and marry your twin flame and be with your twin flame. But it's not always the case, and that's why every single one of you have their own journey. Twin flames normally actually, are not meant to be in a physical relationship or marriage. It's not actually always the end goal. The end goal is to become one with your soul and trust the journey and trust the life and have your spiritual awakening and your sixth sense and all of that. But there are also cases where your twin flame is your perfect partner. And this I talked about on my second episode or third episode, where I said that often when twin flames come together in this lifetime and they live together and they both are awakened, because both of them have to be awakened. The twin flame runner has to be awakened, and the twin flame chaser, the divine feminine, is normally always prior to that awakened. It's because when you both are awakened, you understand that you have a very different way of understanding and feeling things, and you see the world a little different than others, because it will not work when you, as a divine feminine, you are awakened and you have a different energy level than your divine masculine. It will cause more problems and more, distance, because for the divine masculine, who is operating on ego and mind, it's very, very hard to accept that connection as a mind level. In a soul level, once they get there, they are like, wow, yeah, I always felt that, I always knew that, but my mind was blocking it and I didn't want to believe in it. So now we talk of one of my clients who actually did the ayahuasca and met her soul through this, who told her that she's married to her karmic. She has a lot of karmic, lot of karma to solve, and that's why she married a karmic, and she also had karmic children from it. And that, in a way, she comes together with her twin flame this lifetime, and they have a mission together. And once they unite, they have about 7 years left on this Mother Earth, and that will be their final lifetime here on Mother Earth. They will go to another part of the universe, somewhere else. So yes, you can be married to your karmic, and I'm telling you the reason why this can happen. And I know many of us who've been younger, I believe my audience is a little bit older, but it doesn't matter. The age is, again, it's very subjective. When we are in our 20s or 19 or very young, we don't know what love is. And so what means is that by society, we think we need to be with someone to be accepted by society and have this love and have this expectation. So the universe sends us a person who matches in that energy level with us, and often can be a karmic partner. Also can be a soulmate. My case was a soulmate. I will talk about this a little later. But so what I'm saying here is that when you are in your young, you don't really know what the love means, and you are not, because it's a growth period of time. So you kind of get lost there, and then you find someone, you get comfortable, he does stuff for you, you do that stuff for her or for him. So it's all like, that's how it's supposed to be, that's what a love is. And then comes problems, struggles, arguments, all of these kind of things. And you figure, I think it was not the right person. And especially when you come across with your twin flame, that you realize, I'm married to a wrong person. I should be with my twin flame. So in these kind of cases, when you get to know, because the energy changes inside of you, and if universe wants, yes, you're going to divorce and you're going to be with your twin flame. So there is no, in a way of forcing in it, there is a very natural way of going with it. Of course, for your partner, it can be a little confusing because they can feel that you have shifted and you have a different energy. But if that's what your soul tells you and your soul speaks to you about it, then that's what it means. But now let's talk about also, what if you as a divine feminine, the chaser, and your divine masculine runner is already married. Should you wreck apart their house? Like, are you the reason? So like I said in the beginning, when I met my twin flame masculine, he was not married, he was single, he had no children, no family, like clean page pretty much, apart from the fact that some girlfriends here and there. And I asked him one point when I was just so curious to know about it, like I asked him, did you run away because I was married or anything? And he said, of course, he said, I respect the marriage, of course I do. But it was not the main reason I ran. I ran because of that energy was so intense, what we had together, that I had never felt it before, and it made me to question my reality, which I had no idea about it. And if any of you are thinking about, I ever told to my twin flame that, we are the same soul and you are my twin flame? No, I have never told him. And asking me, why you haven't told him? Because he is in a stage of awakening. And his mind is still blocking on many things. When he talks to me about certain things, I'm like, I can feel it, and I'm like, you still have a long way to go, because your mind does not like what it feels, how it feels, and what is happening. So when my question was for my twin flame, was the marriage main reason you ran away because I was married? He said, yes, I tried to convince that was the main reason, but it was never. The main reason I ran was just I was so scared of that energy and what we had. I had never felt like this. So he still has awakening to do, and I know that we are in touch, but I never tell him about it because my soul tells me he has to go through it. There is no other way. The same way like I went through it, he has to go through it. Whether we're going to be together at one point of the lifetime or in another universe, I don't know that. This is up to the universe, and this is up to what we do as a spiritual beings here. And I don't try to predict that. So, in a way, if your twin flame runner is married, and you are the chaser who is entering into this bit of a messy situation, I wouldn't say that like you are the bad one. If you do the work, if you do your healing, if you go within, you let go of your ego, you let go of the idea and the fear of breaking something, fear of losing someone, fear all of that, you will have an answer very quickly. Because it also happens that the marriage might not be the right one, but it's a comfortable one, or it's less intense than the twin flames together. I also know, I mentioned before that I am married to my soulmate. So I always knew the moment I met my husband that it was a godsend to me because of the date. But I was not as spiritual at that time, or I was always spiritual, but I didn't know about twin flames or soulmates or karmics. And today I know that, for example, we had a very hard times when I went through my spiritual awakening. I think it was just like one step away of signing the paper we are divorced, until I opened my heart chakra. And I cried, like shaking. I was shaking and crying. And then everything was released from me. And my husband also realized how much I've been carrying in my heart, and being afraid of love, and not being myself, and not going out there and telling who I am and what I do. So when you're married to your soulmate, you're going to have also a lot of arguments because you don't understand each other so well. And that is the point where it can feel for you like, okay, it's finished. I'm going to be with someone else. Divorce is the answer and everything like this. I would say from my own experience, you have to go within, and breathwork is really, really powerful. Do not underestimate that if you can. And also let me know once you have done it, what happened to you. You will release so much and you'll have the clarity. So And while I came to know that I am actually a guide for my husband to help him through this spiritual awakening, because it's not comfortable and I believe it's harder for men. And I'm not talking of divine masculine men, I'm talking of the men. They can be both divine feminine or divine masculine and as an energy, but it's still very hard for men because of the society that men are not supposed to show their feelings or talk about their feelings, and they are not as good as women. And I think they're carrying a lot more pressure from it. And then what happens often is when you go through it, you drink alcohol. You think alcohol makes you feel quiet and calm. You find distractions, you cannot focus, and you feel really, really strange. So I'm saying this process is not easy for anybody, whether it's your twin flame marriage or a karmic partner or your soulmate. There are so many elements, but the best element how you can get your answers is to heal yourself and go within, to become one with your soul. And once you become one with your soul, the universe has an answer for you. Whether yes, you have to break apart your marriage. And here is something which I don't want to really say it, but often there is a divorce. And the reason is that you did not know about love before, and you happened to marry a wrong person, the person who taught you something that you are not. And love is something more, because now you become a big, big love. Like you are this divine love, beautiful love, and your partner is not. So you're operating in a different frequency. Another thing I would like to bring out here is that being with your twin flame, yes, it's possible, like I said, but you both of you have to be awakened. It can only happen when you both understand this energy is beyond something. But I also have a really strange thing to tell you. Once you become a love, you will attract your soulmate. And you will come across with a person who is a perfect match for you. And perfection doesn't mean that it's like you never fight or you never have arguments or you never have any. No, there always will be. But your soulmate love in that terms means that you have a partner who understands you in your soul level, loves you from your soul level. Like, doesn't love you how you look or what you have or what you don't have. Loves you from your soul and feels your soul. And they are always next to you, whether it's a good times or bad times. And this is the partner we actually want in our life. Because we want to be ourselves, our true selves. Not the ones that we're putting out there, the ones who you are inside of you. And now, your twin flame runner, the divine masculine, triggered your spiritual awakening, triggered your soul to become one with yourself. And many of you are asking, what do I mean under one with yourself? I am who I am. I would really like to say, if you are who you are, here are some questions to ask for yourself. Do you enjoy what you're doing daily? Is the job what you do something you really enjoy? You get up in the morning and you are excited about it. Is the place where you're living and the people you surround yourself, are they ones that inspire you, that make you to talk about who you are? What do you see? What do you feel? How do you feel about it? Is there anything else that always calling you? For example, let's say you feel like you would like to dance, or you would feel like you would like to sing, or do any of these things, like something, or you like doing gardening, anything. I bring up some really random examples, but these are the questions to ask for yourself. What I mean under going within. And then there's another way. How do you know and you come closer to your soul is put down the questions or the things that you are not. Like that really goes against your value. Like something that irritates you, something that is like, for example, you don't like waking up at 5 a.m. or you don't like going to your neighbors, gatherings, or you don't like, just put it down. And from there on, you slowly start to know who you actually are and what you're supposed to do. But you have to be with yourself. You have to spend time with yourself. We spend so much time on social media. We spend so much time on work, on all the things. But do you spend time with yourself, where it's quiet and you go within and you ask, am I really happy? Am I really doing what I'm supposed to do? You have the answers, and twin flame is your mirror. It gives you the answers. The way they run away from you, it's not about marriage, if you are married or they are married. It's never been a thing. It's they run because they want to show you something that you have to let go, and you really have to let go of it. So this is from a short version, which I believe that twin flames who are married is not, a reason they run away, or that they will not come back because they're married and they have family and everything. Listen, people divorce every day, and it's not about this. It's about the lessons we have to learn and the energies you have to match. And once you do that, I can guarantee you your twin flame comes back. But then you see it a little different again. I do see it differently today. I have a very good relationship with my twin flame, but he has no idea about twin flames. He tells me that there is something that he cannot explain what we have, but he doesn't know because his mind is blocking. And until his mind is blocking, I can't tell him. And I'm fine with that. Today, I'm absolutely fine with that. So I hope that gave you some kind of a clarity. If you have any other questions regarding what do you feel inside of you and how do you feel about it, you can always send me an email or leave a comment down below and say, this is what happened to me, this is what my twin flame told me, or this is who I am as a twin flame. So, once again, I would like to say thank you so much for listening this podcast episode today. It's a little shorter one, but again, your feedback is so useful for me. Longer, shorter, whichever ways I could produce you the content that would help you along this journey. On Wednesday, again, we have a new episode from my guests. I have received about 4 or 5 emails so far, so it's going to be interesting. Each Wednesday and each Sunday there's a new episode out where we discuss about twin flames and the problems. For the next one, we can talk about twin flame runners, why do they run, and the signs, and also if they feel the same the way you feel. Or we can talk about something else. So if you have any questions regarding to this, please leave a comment. I will prepare my content for it. So thank you so much for listening today. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And hope to see you soon, my beautiful soul. Thank you for listening to Twin Flame Awakening Podcast. I hope you enjoyed this episode and I hope to see you soon. Please like and subscribe. Thank you so much. Cry 1,000 tears and I wouldn't let fear win. What you feel, I feel. Together we're healing. I don't care that seasons change. 'Cause darling, I'll stay right here with you. Every night and every day. 'Cause darling, there's nothing in this world I'd rather do. Never been this close to
a time to be in love. Oh my God, if forever is not enough. Oh my God, what a time to be in love.